the coronavirus, and what's for dinner. What's the connection? Well, first of all, this entire global pandemic that is currently sweeping our planet began because of humans' disgusting habit of eating animal carcasses. Now, I know what you're thinking. This virus started because people are eating bats. I don't eat bats. What the is wrong with you? And then insert some bullshit racist comment against Chinese people here. Even though China has the most vegans in the world and a rapidly growing animal rights movement. So if you think you're superior to certain people who eat bats or cats or dogs because you eat pigs or cows, you might want to consider the fact that while the coronavirus is unquestionably a deadly threat that has already killed thousands of people and could kill tens of thousands more, the common influenza virus, which kills 600,000 people a year, originates from people's habit of eating pig or chicken carcasses. But it's not just the flu and coronavirus. You might be familiar with a few other diseases that frequently infect and kill us, that are transmitted to us from animals that we are exploiting or hunting. These include the West Nile virus, SARS, mad cow disease, the bird flu, swine flu, foot and mouth disease, E. coli, salmonella, listeriosis, leptospirosis, anthrax, ringworm, the Zika virus, the AIDS virus, and Ebola. Now, as terrifying as those things sound, the actual number of people that they kill every year is completely dwarfed by the #1 leading killer of Americans and many Westerners every year, which is heart attacks. And your chance of dying from a heart attack is intimately connected with whether or not you eat animals. And that's for the same reason that animal consumption is tied to erectile dysfunction, and plant-based foods are tied to increased athletic and increased sexual health. It's all about the blood flow, keeping your arteries clean. Cholesterol does not exist in plants, and a plant-based diet that avoids oily foods can not only help prevent, but may be capable of even reversing heart disease, and has even been referred to by some cardiologists as the heart attack-proof diet. Heart attacks kill 17 million people a year. And I should warn women specifically that the consumption of cow's milk and other dairy products that have been stolen from a mother of a different species meant for her baby has been connected to breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And I should warn men who are about to comment, bacon, that you might not be laughing when you learn that eating just a few strips of dead pig, or bacon as you call it because you're grossed out by the truth, will make that ass that you're sitting on right now 18% more likely to get colorectal cancer. And your prostate, which is as important for your sex life, if you trolls have one, as your cojones, is 19% more likely to get cancer due to your love of eating pig carcasses.
But cavemen, no. But what if I get trapped on a desert island? But no!
For women, eating just 20 grams, or about half a hot dog of processed flesh in a day, increases your breast cancer risk by 20%. So seeing as it's 2020 and we're in the space age, please consider that there is no need to eat like a suicidal wannabe caveman anymore, when vegan meat is absolutely everywhere and there's like 12 different kinds of plant-based milk, all of which taste better than cow's milk and don't come with all the blood and pus and rape and murder of mother and baby cows that are the basis of the dairy industry. And that's true whether they write free range and put fake happy cartoon cows on a carton or not. Now, while you can't protect yourself from all these diseases by not eating animals, you can do a lot to protect yourself from these ones by keeping corpses off of your plate. And you can help protect yourself and the rest of the human race from these ones, which come from animal farms and prisons, by not demanding that other people exploit and enslave animals for you next time you're at the supermarket or a restaurant. Now, if you do get the coronavirus, do whatever the doctors tell you, but your likelihood of dying from the coronavirus or from the common flu or any number of diseases is going to be almost entirely dependent on the health of your immune system. Now, I'm not a doctor, but if you follow the advice of the Harvard Medical School, remember that your immune system really is a full body, exquisitely evolved system of defenses that require your entire body to be in a vibrant, healthy state in order to function properly. And Harvard just reminds us of the core fundamentals of being healthy, which include getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and maintaining a healthy weight. And FYI, plant-based foods are extremely effective at weight loss because plants are 70 to 90% water, which fills up your stomach and hydrates you at the same time. It doesn't come with as much calories and fat as eating a corpse, or ingesting cow's milk, cheese, or other dairy products, whose entire purpose is to turn a baby cow into a 2,000-pound animal. But whether it's the coronavirus, or cancer, or just getting over a cold quicker, the facts are clear. Foods that grow in the earth or on trees will strengthen your body's ability to protect itself and survive the infection, while dead animal-based foods are all too often the underlying cause of death. So stay safe, everybody. If you've got a friend or family member who you love, who you'd really like to keep alive, but who still eats animals, tag them here and send this to them. When they see this part of the video, or if you just tell them, they'll know you're showing this to them because you care about them and you want to keep them around. Maybe live long enough to talk about first contact with aliens together, or to look back on the coronavirus pandemic of 2020 and say, hey, we survived that together. And our hearts are still beating strong because we keep our arteries clean. If you're watching this on IGTV or Facebook, you can actually tag people in the comments while you watch. So get your thumbs tapping and start saving lives. Heart disease and cancer and the coronavirus are no fucking joke. And to sum it all up in a nutshell, if you're ever talking to somebody who doesn't understand how not just the coronavirus, but many of the major viruses and bacteria that infect and kill humans every year are connected to what we eat, just think about it like this. You know how scientists are always telling us, the number one thing you can do to protect yourself from this disease is to wash your hands frequently, avoid dense crowds, and above all, stay clean, 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 clean. Well, if you eat plant-based foods, then your meal probably came from a place like this. Those are peas. That's what a lot of vegan meats are made out of. If you eat animals, there's a 99% chance that your food came from a place like this. And no, that's not China. That's America, Australia, the UK, the European Union, Canada, and anywhere on earth that money exists and that people demand cheap animal flesh. And why are deadly diseases so commonly transmitted to us from eating animals and not from eating plants? Because viruses have evolved specifically to leech onto and take advantage of their hosts' bodies. And you're an animal, not a plant. So here's an idea. Maybe,
just maybe,
we should just stop eating the dead bodies of our fellow animal family. Now, very soon I'm going to make a video about the foods that are important for maintaining a healthy immune system in case you become one of the 40 to 70% of the human race that some scientists estimate will eventually become infected with this virus, and you want to increase your own chances of surviving it. So subscribe on YouTube if you want to get a heads up when that drops. And make sure to hit that little bell button so you'll actually get a notification when it happens. If you're watching this on an Instagram page that's not my own, be sure to connect with me on the official page here so we can stay in touch. But in the meantime, I just want to tell you about something that has nothing to do with food that I learned that's super fascinating as far as keeping a healthy immune system. Now, you may have heard that the cold and flu virus are seasonal. I've always heard that, and until recently, I never looked up why that was the case. And the reality is that scientists don't fully understand why those viruses are seasonal, because there's probably more than one explanation. But one of the main reasons that they theorize that is the case is that throughout the winter, people don't go outside as much, and when they do, we're all covered up, and the sun is weaker, or it's cloudy like today, and therefore you have an entire population that is vitamin D deficient. When you have an entire population that is vitamin D deficient, that means they have a weakened immune system. That means a virus can thrive in that population and spread in a much, much faster way than if you had a healthy population. So long story short, take some fucking vitamin D supplements. I believe the recommendation is 2 a day. I'll put that on screen just to double check. Also, on the note of minimizing transmission of the virus through touch, can we all just agree to do this from now on until the pandemic passes? I mean, I love giving my friends a hug and shaking hands with strangers and stuff like that, but you know, we all like not dying and everything. So if you're vegan, I guess you could do this. Like, can this be our gesture? Do we need that? But I mean, like, really live long and prosper should be ours because that's what the fucking movement is all about. In fact, apparently the Vulcan civilization is already vegan, so what the fuck? This is the vegan gesture apparently now, but I mean, that's a V, so I don't know, what do you think? And lastly, with the world economy crashing and a lot of people about to lose their jobs as a result, I'm seeing my plans to finally take my music on tour this summer, which is the only way musicians really make a living, and which has been in the works for years and was finally happening, potentially falling apart because of this crisis. Bear in mind that earth-grown foods are way cheaper than dead animal-based foods. So if you want to be smart and start saving money on groceries now and stock up on non-perishable food that's ideal in case our food supplies are disrupted by this virus, now's a perfect time to look into delicious lentil or chickpea-based meals, get your chili game up, look into how to make a delicious antioxidant-filled red bean or black bean burgers. Throw the portobello mushrooms in there if you like that. It's one of the cheapest, healthiest, protein-filled, non-processed ways to eat a burger. Or try your hands at outdoing Chipotle by making dope homemade burritos. Those are just some ideas. Google Challenge 22 if you'd like one-on-one personal advice from registered dietitians for free on how to switch over to eating from the garden and not from the graveyard, as we say. Bonus points. Trying not to kill yourself by switching to a healthier diet is also the single best thing you could do to protect yourself and life on Earth as we know it from being added to this list of mass extinctions that is getting terrifyingly longer every day. The number one cause of which is mass-scale habitat destruction to clear land for animal farming. And no, free-range organic is not any better. The Earth's left lung, aka the Amazon rainforest, was just set on fire for free-range dead cow body parts, aka beef. But here's something that we should all take a deep breath of relief on. As I mentioned recently in a video dedicated to Bernie Sanders and all progressives trying to make this world a better place, a worldwide shift from animal to plant-based foods would free up 75% of all the space currently being taken up by the human race to regenerate into nature. That's the equivalent to the land area of the entire United States and China and Australia and the European Union combined. The rebirth of that many forests, savannas, wetlands, and prairies wouldn't just be a miracle for endangered species who are currently headed for extinction. It would be a miracle for our species, particularly American people, millions of whom live in the 40-plus cities that will be partially or fully under the ocean by the end of the century if we don't stop the burning and melting of our planet. And maybe surviving into the Star Trek era. Bet we won't have to wait a year for a vaccine then. And lastly, just a quick heads up to all the people out there who are already vegan. Notice when I talk about eating animals, I use the word eating animals, carcasses, corpses, because that's the truth, as opposed to saying eating meat all the time. That's because number one, the dictionary definition of meat includes plant-based foods, and because number two, the reason that animal eaters use the word meat as opposed to animals, corpses, carcasses, etc. is because they like to lie to themselves and ignore the facts about who, not what, they are eating. Vegans shouldn't be helping people lie to themselves about eating animals. So pay attention to that, but check out the speech I made at a vegan festival in Los Angeles for more on that idea. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, everybody. Listen to the scientists, not the conspiracy theorists. Don't keep this knowledge to yourself. Spread it to the people that you care about far and wide.